أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نواصل كلامنا اللي بديناه عن الفانكشن، ونقول إنه الفانكشن هي دائما يعني بتشتغل كموديول، ونحن الفانكشن بيهمنا جدا جدا إنه نحن نوري إنها هي to be declared before it's used, and it must be declared with as static and public. والfunction in order to be used it must be invoked. بنناديها باستخدام اسمها وبنحدد البارامتر اللي احنا عايزين نمررها لها according للديكلاريشن بتاعنا. طيب الديكلاريشن actually it is going to be with a function header، والfunction header هو بيمثل لنا الجزء المدخل بتاع الفانكشن اللي هو دائما بيكون with a modifiers retain type والmethods name والparameters. طيب لما نخش جوا الفانكشن اللي بنقول عليه هو the body of the function. The body of the function actually these are the processes how the function its work. يعني لو عملنا لنا function تجمع لنا عددين، نحن هي دي جوا الفانكشن body it is how this function it is work in order to add these two integer numbers. And once we are speaking about the retain type الفانكشن في نهايتها إما إنها تنتهي بريتين أو ما تنتهي بريتين. إذا انتهت بريتين يبقى إنه نحن في البداية قمنا حددنا وقمنا قلنا إنه الفانكشن دي لابد من إنها هي ترجع قيمة، والقيمة الراجعة هي بتمثل لنا الاوتبوت اوف ذا فانكشن، وهي دي القيمة اللي محتاجين لها في المكان اللي فيه تم نداء الدالة أو at that place where the function is called. This is just an example once we need to declare a method. For example, now here we are declaring a method called the max that retain an integer number with two parameters, the first one of type integer and the second one of the type integer, and then this is the body of the function, this is the body of the function, and this is the retained which is going to retain. That means this is the bigger or this is the maximum number. It must be a retain here, it must be with the same type here. Three ways to call a method. Actually here either we are calling a method's name by itself to call another method of the same class, or using a variable that represent an object followed by the dot operator t dot max for example, or using a class name and a dot to call static methods of the class عشان ننادي static methods of the class. Three ways to retain control to the statement. ثلاثة طرق عشان نرجع الستيتمنت. For example, a method that does not retain a result. وفي الحالة دي الميثودز بتكون شغالة just like a procedure. It is just like a procedure. There is no return. We just we need to display something, or we just need to run a specific steps. A function with a retain execute, and here there is a specific value, it is return. If the methods retain a result, the statement retain expression it must be used as the end of the function. طيب لو كان احنا عندنا اكتر من if معناته احنا عندنا for example هيكون عندنا if واذا حصل اتحقق الشرط there is a retain, else عندنا retain تاني، يبقى انه نحن الفانكشن بتاعتنا دي هترجع واحده من ال two retains not both of them. طيب once we are speaking about the functions there is a need to speak about the stack. What do we mean by stack? Stack is a data structure. Data structure it is with just only one input and output. يعني stack is a data structure that used to allocate specific elements sequentially and take them sequentially. We call the techniques as first in last out, or last in first out, LIFO last in first out. العملية بتاعت وضع العناصر بنسميها البوش، والعملية بتاعت العملية بتاعت الأخذ من العناصر بنسميها البوب. يعني الستاك بتاعنا احنا اذا دايرين ناخد A B C D هتكون ال A قاعدة في قاع الستاك، وبعد كده تجي ال B وال C وال D. التوب القمة بتاعت الستاكس هتكون فيها ال D، ونحن هنسحب ال D and then C and then B. آخر حاجة هتحصل على شنو؟ على ال A، وقلنا هي اسمها التقنية بتاعت اللايفو. last item push هو بيكون في شنو؟ في الستاك، والفيرست item is going to be removed. why we are speaking about the stack here. قالوا نحن actually once we are speaking about the function call, there is a need to speak about the stack. There is a relation between the stack techniques and the function call. The main idea is that once we are creating a function and we call the function in the main program, there is a need to specify the address of the return. Once you are calling a function, that means the control of the program it is going to shift from the right sequence in your program to the outside, to the body of the function. يعني أنا لما أكون شغال وأقوم أعمل call لفانكشن، اللي بيحصل شنو؟ اللي بيحصل إنه الكنترول بتاع البرنامج هيقوم ينتقل من وين؟ من الترتيب الطبيعي عندي أنا في البرنامج للترتيب بتاع البودي في الفانكشن outside. طيب هيجينا راجع تاني هنا كيف؟ Once we need to resume the previous one, قالوا actually this address it is going to be allocated in the stack. The address is going to be allocated in the stack. Then and the sequence of the instructions inside the body of the function it is going to allocate it in the stack. Then يعني أول عنصر هيمشي يتخطى في الستاك هو عنوان العودة. عنوان العودة لوين؟ عنوان العودة للبرنامج الرئيسي. وبعد كده محتويات الستاك هتكون هي عبارة عن شنو؟ هتكون هي عبارة عن عناوين الانستركشنز الموجودة في البودي بتاع الفانكشن، وهيبتدي ينفذ الانستركشن الموجودة في البودي لغاية ما تخلص الانستركشنز الموجودة في البودي بتاع الفانكشن. يبقى انه هو محتاج يرجع للبرنامج الرئيسي. لما يجي يكون محتاج يرجع للبرنامج الرئيسي هيلقى انه في قاع الستاك there is an address, and this address it is actually the returned address to the main program. طيب نحن ننتقل لموضوع تاني. بعد الكلام ده هنتكلم عن argument promotions and casting. الcasting here, by casting sometimes we need to convert a specific data type to another data type. يعني sometimes we need to converting according to the needs of the execution. Sometimes I need to convert this number to another number. I can convert, for example, integer to be real numbers. For example, 3 is going to convert to 3.0. The difference is that the first one it is an integer and the next one is a real number or a double number. Why we are doing this? Sometimes when we need to invoke specific functions, and I know that these functions actually it use a specific data type, I can convert to the data type that it is acceptable by the function. العملية دي بنسميها الcasting. But with a specific condition قال actually each value is promoted to the highest type. highest type يعني معناته شنو؟ يعني نحن actually هنا لما نيجي نتكلم عن promotion نحن يعني these data types it can be converted to these type. For example, a float can be converted to the double, a long can be converted to the float or a double, an integer can be converted to the long, float or a double, and so on. يعني لكن احنا عندنا في بعض العناصر ما بنقدر نعمل converting. يعني for example, you will not going to find here for example a double converted to the integer. ليه؟ لأنه الدبل أعلى من الانتجر، فإحنا ما بنحول له، ما بنقدر نحول. لكن الدبل can be converted to the none. One none means nothing, and none it is a data type. Boolean can convert it to the none, and this is very important. Java API package, if you remember, when we are speaking about API, we are speaking about the predefined classes, and actually it's called as Java API. And here there are so many modules. For example, Java applet. You know that applet it is contains a class and service interface for creating Java applet. awat, and this is awat actually contains the class and interface required to create a manipulated GUI. هنتكلم عن الGUI في نهاية الكورس بتاعنا اللي هو graphical user interface, and there are so many. You have to know all of them. Which one it is used for what? Event, to make an event in a graphical interface, and this is for input output and so on. This is for to work or to deal with a database SQL. You have to know all these ready modules or ready package which is provided by Java. Also, there is a need to speak about the random number generations. So many times we are speaking about array, for example. We need to make initializations for the array. Sometimes once we need to initiate an array or to make initializations for the array, I said last time, I can make hard initializations while I am declaring an array. I can define specific numbers, or I can make the user to input these values to the array, but not always we can use only these options. Why? Because sometimes the array, for example, it can compose of thousands of elements or thousands of numbers. How can I do that? Is it possible to enter thousands of numbers directly from the keyboard? It is impossible. Then there is already functions which is called random. Random functions can generate a number randomly. يعني الفانكشن rand or random, it can generate numbers randomly. أنا ممكن أنتج أي كمية من الأعداد بصورة عشوائية. Just I know I can use random. How can I use it? And here, for example, we are using first of all we make an import for the random, and then we are making new random. That means we need to generate a number, and generation of the number, here only one number, and here we can generate a numbers from 1 to 6. We can generate a 1 to 6. How can I do that? 1 plus random numbers dot next integer, and this is can be looks like this. We can generate it usually numbers without any things. This is again the same functions, how we can use it looks, and this is the output of the random function generations. The most important is there are so many keywords can be used with random numbers. For example, look in this example, generation, scaling and shifting of random numbers. A number equal shifting value plus random number dot net integer scaling factor. طيب عايزين نشوف ديل. A shifting value هو actually to present the first number. Scaling factor is how many numbers are in the range. عايز كم واحد. And here we cause number equal shifting value plus difference between values. And difference between value يعني انت عايز random numbers. يعني مثلا الجاب بين كل عدد والعدد الثاني 1 to 6. That means I need a gap for 5 and so on. Scope of declarations, variables or methods, it must be declared with scope. Whether they are parameters, the scope of the declaration, it is very important. It makes so many constraints while we are using these variables. For example, we can here find a local variables. Local variables, these are the variables which is declared inside a specific block, and it will be valid just only inside this block, and it cannot be valid outside this block. يعني اللي بيقوم يعمل له ميثود فانكشن، وجوا الفانكشن بيقوم يعمل يعني ديكلاريشن لميثود لفاريبل، يقوم يقول انتجر اكس داخل الفاريبل اكس بتاعتنا بتاعت الميثود دي بتكون هي صالحه فقط داخل الميثود and it will never be used outside x. طيب لو احنا عايزين x that can be used inside this scope and any other scope, we are going to put it in the main frame of the Java. It's going to be member frame in the Java program so as to be executed anytime. Usually, sometimes there is a problems. It comes when the local variable come with the same name of the field or the class. احنا قلنا العنصر الموجود في الكلاس او الموجود في الجافا بروجرام اللي هي جافا بروجرام actually it is a class بنسميه هو عباره عن a field بنقول عليه هو field member. طيب اذا كانوا هم نفس الاسم اللي هيحصل شنو؟ قالوا actually the field is going to be hidden. هيقوموا يوقفوه لغايه الاكسكيوشن of the block, the execution of the body of the function is terminated لغايه ما نحن نخلص من التنفيذ داخل الفانكشن، حتى بعد كده الفاريبل الاوتسايد البلوك حتى يظهر لنا. يعني احنا لما نقوم نكون جوا الاكسكيوشن جوا البلوك ونقول يعني نكون جوا البلوك وي نيد تو برنت اكس، هيظهر لنا يا قيمه للاكس، الاكس اللي هي تم اسنادها داخل الفانكشن. طيب اذا كنا اوتسايد البلوك وقمنا عملنا برنت اكس هيطلع لنا الفيلد ممبر. طيب لما نحن نكون لو كانوا هما الاثنين نفس الاسم ونحن جوا البلوك هيكون الاول البر الفيلد عملوا له هيدن. العمليه دي اسمها shadowing. Shadowing is making the outside hidden or the field member is hidden. And this is just an example. For example, here this is a function public static void main. This is the main class of the program, and there is an integer x equal 5. This is actually local variable x. وعندنا نحن لو طلعنا فوق عندنا private static integer x، والانتجر x ده هو عباره عن عندنا هنا سكوب، يبقى انه نحن هنا اللي حصل للاكس دي هي عباره عن شنو؟ حصل لها shadows، يعني هي بقت shadow الاكس دي. And it is the same to describe the other things. طيب ننتقل لموضوع ثاني لما نحن نتكلم على الميثودز overloading. Methods overloading sometimes in general once I declare a method that means I need to use it for specific benefits to retain or to satisfy specific needs. So many times there is a need to declare a functions in different place to do the same job into different parameters. Then the issue is that how can I declare the function or how can I use the name for these functions? For example, if I declare the first functions to call it sum to add two integer numbers, and the rest of the program again I need another functions that can use to add different data types or to make a summation of different data types. اسميها sum ولا اسميها حاجه ثانيه؟ قالوا in programming in general we prefer very much to call the functions with the name that reflect the meaning or the name that reflect the functionality of the function. يعني في البرمجه بصوره عامه بيحبوا جدا انهم يسموا الاسماء بانها هي تعكس الوظيفه بتاعت الفانكشن، عشان نحن نقدر نتعامل مع الفانكشن بطريقه سليمه وما نقدر نديها اسم نحن ما عارفين هي بتعمل شنو، فبنفضل انه نسميها بنفس الاسم. بتبقى مشكلتنا انه نحن اذا عايزين نسمي اكثر من فانكشن وهي بتقوم بنفس الوظيفه لنوع ثاني من انواع البيانات او لانواع مختلفه من انواع البيانات. In this case قالوا we can use the same function, we called it the same name، لكن في الديكلاريشن بتاعنا نحن we are going to show that there is a different data type or there is a different orders of this data type or there is different number of parameters it's going to be passed these functions. Then the compiler is going to select the right function. The compiler is going to select the right functions that satisfy the need. يبقى نحن في الحالة دي بنتكلم على التكنيكس اللي اسمه methods overloading. Methods overloading. And here we have example, for example math methods apps absolute min and max are overloaded with the 4 versions, each one with 2. اي واحده منهم with double parameter يعني تشتغل لنا مع الدبل وتشتغل لنا مع الفلوت والانتجر واللونج، لكنها هي برضه شنو؟ absolute. يعني انت لو قمت عملت كول لابسوليوت ABS اديت دبل او فلوت او انتجر او لونج هتشتغل، ما هيقوم يقول لك لا والله نحن we just work with double. So this is the importance of absolute, and this is technique is called methods overloading. This program to show that we are declaring a function called square. This is squares to deal with an integer value. طيب مشينا تاني هنا عملنا square to deal with a double value. لما نعمل call الفانكشن الكومبايلر it's going with the ability to select the right square. Which one that work with the double or with integer. يعني الفانكشن بتاعتنا إذا if it is invoked with an integer هيقوم الكومبايلر طوالي يمشي للفانكشن اللي بتشتغل بالانتجر. اما اذا عملنا لها invoke وهي بتشتغل بالدبل الكومبايلر it's going to work perfectly and select the right functions that work with a double. And this is the continuations of this program, and the output is correct frames. Another topic we are going to speak about another one. A frame is a window that is not contained inside another window. Here we are speaking about what we call it graphical user interface, GUI. Graphical user interface, you know, sometimes programming it's not only writing codes to generate codes or to the outputs will be in the screen. Sometimes we need to deal with windows. Then the first or the starting points here, we are speaking what we call it about the frame. Then what do you mean by the frame? Frame, it is a window. Window that it's not contained inside another window. A frame it is a basis to contain other user interface component. هو الأساس. يبقى إنه إحنا أهم حاجة it is the most important is to create a frame so as to create a window. Look here this is the user interface اللي هي بنقول عليها ال UI. This is the frame. This is just like, and this is the applet frame also. And here we can find the component of the frame. عندنا panel 1 and panel 2, and this is for the pull down menu. This is for the pull down menu. We can see that here. In order to speak about this, there is a need to speak about the layout managers. Java layout manager provide a level of the abstraction. Abstractions to do what? Automatically map your user interface on all Windows system. طيب يبقى انه نحن يعني نحن محتاجين لجافا layout manager. طيب this layout manager actually so as to do what? To map, to direct the user into the interface, a specific interface. The UI الuser interface components are اللي هي المحتويات بتاعتها بيخطوها وين؟ in containers. بيخطوها في containers. طيب وكل containers has a layout manager. كل container عندها layout manager. تعال نشوف هيكون المنظر كده object عندنا layout manager والlayout manager ده هو مخصص ل for each one of these container. And this is the programs so as to create a frame or to write something. For example, look here, welcome to Java program. It is written in different way, and then notice how a new line is output for each a /n. /n, it is this we called it escape sequence. escape sequence هم كتار جدا. و actually escape means نهرب من شنو. احنا لما نقوم نقول \letter معين قالوا والله احنا بنخط الكلام يعني \, والليتر عشان نهرب من المعنى الحقيقي للحرف. لما انا اعمل \n انا actually معناتها يا الكومبايلر don't write n. انا عايز اعمل استخدم لي الوظيفه بتاعت الn. والباك/n عشان تدينا شنو؟ نيو لاين، تدينا سطر جديد. وشوف احنا اول ما قلنا \n ظهرت لنا ويلكم، بعدها عملنا سطر جديد جاتنا تو، سطر جديد جافا، سطر جديد بروجرامينج. اهم حاجه \n or the escape sequence characters or letters it is going to be enclosed with upper codes. دائما هي بتكون في upper codes and we are using with print or print line. عندنا مثلا \t it is another escape sequence letter in order to give a horizontal tab. \v in order to give a horizontal v. \0 in order to make alarm. and this is the output. Look, this is the menu. This is the menu. It looks like this. The program. This program is generating a window. Welcome to Java program. Okay. And this is the program output. And this program, it's going to give us enter the first integer. Once you set 45, okay, enter the second number. Enter, then it's going to be displayed as, or the output will be in the final, or this is the output of the final program. Actually, because اخوانا نحن لما نشتغل البرمجه ويكون ما مستخدمين الجرافيكال يوزر انترفيس بيكون الاوتبوت بتاع البرنامج او نحن بنشتغل في شاشه سوداء الى حد كبير البرنامج بيبقى شكله ممل او ما جميل. عشان كده نحن البروجرامينج لانجويج الحديثه معظمها جات بجرافيكال يوزر انترفيس عشان تدينا شنو؟ عشان تدينا الاوتبوت بتاع البرنامج هنا شكله عامل كده. ونحن قلنا actually we are using what we called it frame. زي ما نحن هسي اذا عينت فوق هنا تجي تلقى انه عندنا show message dialog. show message dialog this is just to يعني هو ده هي function موجودة في job champagne واللي هي API in Java. تعال نشوف دي بتشتغل كيف. this is the method المهمة عندنا هي اللي بتدينا الديالوج بوكس. قال actually different version of show message dialogs actually require 4 arguments. بتحتاج عادة لأربعة arguments. تعالوا نشوفهم. the first one arguments null for now يعني null for now. second message to display الثاني عشان يطلع لنا الديسبلاي. الثird string to display in title bar. والرابع indicating type of the message. انت عايز يا نوع يعني اللي هو بيظهر لنا شكله الشكل ده هنا الشكل ده in order to indicate اللي هي احنا خدتنا هنا. عندنا اول واحد مثلا for the error message and this is the information message and this is for warning message and this is for questions. This is usually it can be generated like this. احنا قلنا الارجمنت دي المهم عندنا انه نحن اول حاجه نكتب null عشان نقول now. بعد كده السكند اللي هو المسج اللي احنا عايزينها تطلع علينا كويس. الثيرد string to display in the title bar الريزلت اللي احنا مثلا عايزينها تطلع علينا في الريزلت. فورس سوري الفورس هذه المسج اللي احنا عايزينها تظهر لنا في الريزلت. وبعد كده احنا بنظهر هنا شنو ال indicating type message اللي احنا تظهر لنا في الشكل ده. بعد كده هنتكلم عن الابلت. applets it is as I said last time applets it is very important in Java. Applets actually it run on the web and we spoke very earlier about the security so as to protect when we are using applet. And here you can see applets how it's work, or this is the structure of the file in the applet file in the internet, or which an applets read the files on the web. Here this is the file and this is the web server in the internet and these are the terminals and this is the different browsers. Type applet it's the programs that run in the actually applet viewer or the web browser. We are executing it is executed by HTML language and actually an application is going to run in the command window. يعني applet it's going to run in graphical user interface by another way. And this is the browser calling applet methods. Here there are so many methods. I'm going to speak about them in detail. This is when we are browsing calling an applet. Here there is a method like reload, initiate init for initiate and stop start destroy. تعال نشوف these functions in detail. What do you mean by initiate? So initiate method. Actually initiate, it is used for when first time we load applet, or we need to reload the applet. This is very important function. That means any applets before it is start, it must call initiate, make initiations, initiate init, init, and start. The function start, it must be called after the init method. Also it's called whenever the applet becomes active again. يعني when we need to activate we call then. نحن عملنا initiate، بدينا بinitiate، بعد ما نعمل initiate لازم نعمل شنو؟ start. كل ما نجي نعمل يعني activations للapplet. stop to stop the applet. move off the back، يعني move off the page when we need to stop the applet. move يعني to stop the start process. destroy usually when we need to destroy to delete something, no longer we are going to need it, and that should release any resources it has allocated. يعني أنا إذا عندي memory استخدمناها أو أي جزء I can release it. And this is the applet program or example. As I said, it is written into HTML, and initiate must be initiate, start, the most important in order to execute any applet, and stop when we need to stop an applet, and to destroy when we need to freeze resources, or when we need to freeze some types of variables. Stop when we need to go outside this page. Here import class, that means here we are import allow us to use a predefined class. Yes, as we said before. Extend, we know that before in inheritance we must use extends. This extend, it is used for inheritance. The two drawString statements simulate a new line. This is because drawString actually, in order to display this string, we can see drawString welcome to Java program with these parameters in order to generate these lines, in order to generate the line. Actually, in the line we are specifying x and y axis for any point. يعني the first one, this is the x and y axis, 5 for the x and 10 for the y for the first line, and the ending point here also it is going to specify it by x and y. يعني يبين احنا لو كل ما نكون دايرين نرسم خط بنحدد 4 نقاط هي بتمثل لنا الاحداث السيني والصادي لنقطة البداية ونقطة النهاية. عشان كده هو قام رسم السطرين وكتب بيناتهم Welcome to Java Program. Graphics drawing, نحن بنستخدم drawing to draw and to fill. This is in graphics. نحن شفنا في الجرافيكس كمان احنا قدرنا نشوف انه الجافا can provide methods and ways to deal with graphics like draw rectangle, draw oval اللي هو الشكل الدائري. لما نقوم نقول fill rectangle معناتها نملأ الريكتانجل، نملاه ممكن نملاه بلون and so on. or fill oval يعني احنا ممكن نستخدم draw rectangle, draw oval, fill rectangle, fill oval. This is just apart. It is just like to give a hint about other graphic drawing functions, لأن ال drawing functions هي كثيرة جدا جدا. إحنا we just want to speak about it very previously because there are so many functions that can be used to draw different. For example, we can draw line, as we can see, we can draw window, we can make a specific point, move from one place to another place, animations and so on. But here, I just want to give you a brief introduction about these types of graphical functions. You have to import graphics in the Java before you can use these draw rectangle. يعني anyone wants to use these functions, أول حاجة أنت لازم تعمل import للgraphics class عشان تقدر تستخدم الميثودز. وشوف هنا احنا بتقبل لنا 4 parameters and draw rectangle so as to هي دي الopposite rectangle. يعني لو عايزين نرسم rectangle هي بيحدد يعني the most left upper points and the most right lower point, and then it's going to be declared. And لما نيجي نتكلم على الoval, here actually we are speaking about the center axis, and here for the radius, the point start from the center to the surface of the circle or the oval, and here actually the W and H to represent the axis for the line. Also, Java provide ways to deal with multimedia. You know, as I said, Java, it is very rich. It's provide a way to deal with different kind of data. Also, one of these is multimedia. Multimedia represent image, audio and video. بتدينا فرصة عشان نتعامل مع الوسائط المتعددة. In the rest, I'm just going to give a very quick overview about this. You know that nowadays computer is going to use in different ways. Nowadays the data in the internet, it is not only a data or figures or numbers or letters. Sometimes of these data are videos, images, voice. That's the needs come from to deal with these multimedia and to manage these resources. And nowadays multimedia, it is going to be stored in DVD, CD and tape. Java, it has a built-in multimedia capability. Actually, Java multimedia, it is covering so many things like discussed the graphics, images, animations, sounds and videos. And I'm just going to go through some or such part of these. We're going to speak about the image. We have a class called image. Class called image is java.awt, AWT, to deal with image. Abstract class cannot create an object directly. We cannot create the object directly. So we are going to do get image location, file name to specify the location or the file name, and you can see here in the program we are using it in this way. Displaying image, actually in order to display an image we are using a method called draw image, and there are so many overloaded versions of these functions. For example, let's see draw image, my image XY, image observer. My image is image object. X and Y, it is the coordinates. Image observers, objects on which image is displayed. Sometimes we need to make a such kind of or such part. We are using this to indicate the applet. Usually this or the keyword this, it is used for specifying the applet and can be any object that implements image observers. In the graphics, sometimes we are speaking about the event driving programming. Event driven programming means a specific function that is going to work as a response for outside materials. For example, mouse, when we are moving mouse, and effect of using the mouse, it is such kind of recalling event driving code, and actually procedures programming is executed in procedure error or in the procedures orders. In the event driven programming, the code is executed upon activations of the event. يعني هو هنا بيقارن ما بين البروسيدرز والevent driven programming. In the procedure programming, it is executed in the procedure order على حسب الخطوات. أما في الevent driving programming, actually it is used so as to, or it depends on the activations or the interactions between the user and the code. For example, once we are moving the code, moving the mouse, or pressing any key in the keyboard, there is a such kind of event driving code. So what do we mean by event? Event can be defined as a type of the signal, نوع من أنواع الإشارات, to the programs that something has happened, إنه في حاجة معينة حصلت. مثلا الماوس بيتحرك من موضع إلى الثاني، معناتها هي we are speak about moving mouse. There is event. Move this cursor or this mouse or this pointer from this place to another place. Also, once we are speaking about the event generated by external user action such as a mouse movement, mouse button click, and keyboards, or by operating systems such as timers to close or to open a specific window. Event information. In the event information, and for example, we need ID, a number that identify the event عشان نحدد إنه which type of this event. Target, the AWT component upon which the event occurred. Argument, additional information about the AWT. XY coordinate, the mouse pointer location. Click count, the number of the consecutive click for the mouse. When the time stamp of the event, key, the key that was pressed or released. This is just like in any event we need such kind of information. It vary from event to another. يعني الزول اللي بيكون شغال, for example, if we need to generate event للkeyboards, any key with specific information, and this is the mouse and so on. This is the event classes, object, AWT event, action event, adjustment event, and this is the draw or the classifications of the event. And selected user actions. Actually, the user action, click on a button, G button, and this is the sort object, event type, generated action event, and so on. Here there are so many classifications, and there are so many things we need to speak about it when we need to understand dealing with event in depth. Actually, this is commonly used when we are making a graphics or graphics coding. The declaration methods, actually, that here triggering an event, the event is going to be static. It's going to be silent and until it is triggered. Actually, how it is triggered? When the user, depending on the user action. It depends on the user action. For example, if we are creating an event for the mouse, once the user is moving the mouse, the mouse now is moved, then the event is it's triggered. Pressing any one of these keys, then that means the event now it is triggered, and so on. That after that, once the event is triggered, then the source object is going to work, generating what we called it event object, and from the event object, then it's going to generate what we called it listener object and event handler, and that's all about this subject. I hope it is very useful for you. It can help you to pass your exam very successfully. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in another subject, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.